So I've just started writing my book proposal for this book that I want to write, and I thought it'd be a good idea to just come on here and explain why I want to write this book, and why it's obviously necessary for me to connect with people who'd be interested in reading this book, or people who have written and are writing similar books, and just see whether people are interested in something like this. And I think there are many people out there who are interested in this kind of thing, but it's just not often explicitly spoken about. I haven't really found any specific books that are exactly about this. There are books that kind of skirt around the idea, but nothing around this. So I'm writing a book about my relationship with spirituality, like my spiritual journey and awakening after the stillbirth of my daughter, very specifically about that. There is a book out there called Spirit Babies, and it kind of talks about how we manifest our children, how our children choose us before, they come here and all that kind of stuff. But that isn't necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the continued relationship after you experience loss of a baby who was stillborn, who isn't here at all today. And I just feel like a lot of books skirt around the idea, but I do know that people want to read this book because I'm part of the community, and I have connected with a lot of parents that sort of skirt and speak around this, but we don't explicitly say it, and there isn't like a text that talks about it. And I think because like baby loss in itself is taboo. Let's be so for real, it's taboo. The world isn't ready for that conversation, and it's something that's keeps happening for centuries. People have lost babies for years and years and years, but it's always so taboo because it feels backwards. It feels like against the natural order of things. It doesn't make sense. And because of that, we don't speak about it. The whole narrative around baby loss, once you experience it, is okay, move on. It's like, all right, but there are brighter days. Like, when are you going to have your rainbow baby? I don't like that expression, or I don't use that expression, but when are you going to have more children, right? It's always the next, when we haven't even addressed or dealt with the baby that we've lost. We're already just we're being told to think about the next thing, right? Trying to fix the situation. And the truth of the matter is, regardless of what you go on to do after, whether you choose to have more children, whether you have 10 children after, that experience is something that stays with you forever, even if you don't talk about it. Like, you find people who have gone their whole life, have never spoken about the fact that they had any stillborn children, and then towards their deathbed they start naming and saying, oh, now I'm going to see my child who I lost, or they mention things about that point. So you know that is something that they haven't forgotten. And with me, from my own experience, I know that whether or not I chose to do something creative in order to like nurture my continued relationship, bring my daughter with me, continue her legacy, whether I chose to do that or not, I would still be thinking about her every single day, because every waking moment I think about her. Every waking moment I remember I have a daughter who died. Like, that's something that I can't get away from. I have chosen to reframe that thinking so that it's not only just the trauma and the tragedy, but it's also connected with the love that I had with her during my pregnancy, so before I gave birth to her. And now the after, like, I still love her, I still long for her, I miss her, and there is so much love that I have for her, so much hope for my daughter. There's actually a spider running along over there, and I just hope it doesn't come over here, so please stay there, spider. Yeah, so I'm writing a book because of that. And why do I know that in this community people are interested in this kind of stuff? Because a lot of parents talk about signs, they talk about symbols that they connect with their children. So people will say, oh, I connect a robin. Every time I see a robin, it reminds me of my daughter. For me, it's seagulls. And the story behind the seagulls is, on the day of Mila's funeral, which was the 9th of November 2023, she was stillborn on the 29th of January. She was stillborn on the 29th of December 2022 and her funeral was the 9th of February 2023. I remember having set my alarm at 7 in the morning. So that, and the funeral was like between 9 and 10. And I remember setting my alarm for 7 in the morning. To be honest, I didn't sleep at all anyway, but I just wanted to make sure that my alarm is on as early as possible so I am not late whatsoever. And as soon as my alarm went off, I just stared up into the ceiling and I was like, yep, I ain't getting up. I am not getting up out of this bed. I just can't do it. I can't do it. And then as soon as I said that to myself, I remember hearing screeching sounds outside of the window, like really loud, like and I was thinking, what on earth is that? What is that? Like, often the only sound you hear outside of that window is people arguing, cars beeping, but this was a very specific sound. So I get up, I open the curtains, and I see about 20 seagulls outside of our window. This has never, ever happened before. And this has never, ever happened after. It was very bizarre, like 20 seagulls outside of the window, just flying around. I've got video footage, so I'll put it here.
Sabes o que é que significa ter aves brancas, né?
And then I was just like, what? I recorded, it made me get out of bed. So obviously, and then I told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. And we look outside and we see these white birds. Often white birds are associated with spirituality, right? That's what they say. That's why they have doves and things like that. Or it made me get out of bed. I had decided that I wasn't getting out of bed. It made me get out of bed. And then it made me think, like, that feels very specific. Like, it feels like it's a sign to me. Like, my daughter is telling me, Mum, get up out of bed and you can do this. And the thing is, as the years have gone by, the year like after this happened, I found out that my daughter's name, Myla, means beautiful sea. It's a Hawaiian name. I mean, we chose her name just because my husband just thought of it as a name. And it means beautiful sea. And for me, it was like, what a specific sign for it to be seagulls, creatures of the sea, to be flying around. It just felt really random. Like, we live in London. Yes, you do see seagulls, but to see so many seagulls, like it's Brighton, by the sea, like it's bizarre. So, and a lot of parents talk about this kind of stuff. A lot of parents read the book Signs. That's one of the books a lot of them read. And a lot of parents continue to say that they feel their daughter and their son present with them. And so why not write a book about that? Why not put that into writing? Why not express our journeys? We deserve to have that reflected. We deserve to have that affirmed, that you're not the only one. A lot of people feel like they're crazy, like they must be the only person in the world that feel this continued connection, but you're not. You know, also Dr. Tara Swart, she's recently published a book called The Signs, so similar to Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson, but this one is The Signs. And this was inspired by her husband dying as well, where she said she started to notice him and she 100% has been communicating with him, and she wanted to put that into writing because all of us have this ability to continue that connection with our loved ones if we want to. Grief is so hard, especially profound grief. I think it's actually so much healthier than just being like, right, no feelings, bottle it up, shove it away, because then you go out and you're triggered by things like, you know, after losing Myla, every time I went to Asda or Aldi or wherever, if I was passing the baby aisle, oh my gosh, like I'd have to run, I'd have to have my headphones, I'd be crying. And now that I have asserted my relationship with her, I feel more confident. And I think it was because I had that medium reading as well, where he got everything right. So that's part of my journey, part of what I will include in this book, where he affirmed to me that there is continuation, because he gave me evidence of things that I'd never shared with anyone and I never posted online. There's no way that he would have got this stuff, like knowing that my family had an argument about a key, or knowing that my mum had a miscarriage when I was 7 years old, and by the day that I did that reading I would have had a sister who was 21, but she doesn't exist because my mum miscarried. Like, how would you know that? How would you know that very specifically? Okay, so yeah, I wanted I want to write a book about this. Also, a lot of the stuff around baby loss that you read, it has a very like Western outlook. And when I say that, I mean, when you look at other cultures, for example, I'm just going to throw Mexico, for example, Mexican culture, there is a continuation of a relationship with those who have passed away. They've got the Day of the Dead and they've got the Day of the Little Angels, right? So the 1st of November is the Day of the Little Angels and the 2nd of November is the Day of the Dead, where it's a specific date where they remember their loved ones. It's almost like Christmas in terms of like family gathering, preparation of foods, setting up the space, giving presents to children. I think they also do that, or some families do that. But they set up an altar, and in this altar they've got pictures of their loved ones. They'll put food, their favourite food, maybe like an auntie or an uncle love to drink Coke. They would put a can of Coke there. They make the pan del muerto, which is the dead bread or bread of the dead, and they put that there. They put like so many beautiful things connected with their loved ones, and it's a day to remember them. A lot of these cultures, however, do have religious influences, so a lot of the stuff around the Day of the Dead just remains during the Day of the Dead, whereas if we look culturally in history, those of our loved ones would have been included and remembered daily, right? You would have something in your home daily. You would do something daily or every other day where you're pouring, in my culture in Angola, you're supposed to pour whatever you drink, let's say it's alcohol, you pour it on the floor first to like for your ancestors, and that's just a paying respect. That's just a way of honouring those who have come before us and saying, we respect you, we remember you, we love you. But this has been something that has been negated for years and years and years, and especially when it comes to baby loss. And I just don't think it's fair, because us parents who experience stillbirth, we never got an opportunity to experience our children alive. So allow us, please, to take part in little rituals that we want to take part in ways that strengthen that relationship, that allow us to continue to parent our children in the way that was robbed from us. This is all we have left. Also thinking about how, like, when I gave birth to Myla, I was given an option to have someone come in and read for us. So you can choose anyone from any religious belief to come and read for you. And I just, when I read the list, I knew that I couldn't connect with any one of them. But my family does have a history of Catholicism, I can't even say the word, of being Catholic. And so that was the only choice I was given. So I asked for a Catholic priest to come through and he read from the book. But for me, I felt so numb listening to that. I just couldn't connect with it at all. And the whole thing, it was like, just let go. That was what I was being told. And it's like, I gave birth 2 or 3 days ago and I'm being told to let go. That wasn't making sense to me. I spent 9 months pregnant. Well, almost 9 months. It was 4 weeks to being 9 months. It just wasn't making sense. Like, I couldn't just let go like that. Why am I being told to let go? Why? You know? And so this is why I'm writing a book. Currently writing a proposal. And I need support, guys. I really do need support. I would love for people to subscribe, follow me on this journey, connect with me, comment. If you are a writer yourself, speak about your journey too. I would love to connect with other people. Yeah, so come along this journey. Ask me any questions. I'm learning so much. I am writing a proposal first, so I'm learning a lot about that process, and then I will go on to writing. But I want to pitch this book to agents and publishing houses and stuff. If I get absolutely negated, I am still going to write this book anyway, but I do want to set myself up in a space where I have people who are ready to listen and want to listen and reach as many people as possible. That's the whole point, because I don't want it to be for someone like me to feel like they're being shoved down their throat that they need to move on, let go, when they don't have to. It's your choice. So yeah, come along on the journey, guys. Subscribe and support a mama out here. Thank you.